Miss Brill by Katherine Mansfield. Although it was so brilliantly fine, the blue sky powdered with gold and great spots of light, like white wine splashed over the Jardins Publiques, Miss Brill was glad that she had decided on her fur. The air was motionless, but when you opened your mouth there was a faint chill, like a chill from a glass of iced water before you sip. And now and again a leaf came drifting, from nowhere, from the sky. Miss Brill put up her hand and touched her fur. Dear little thing, it was nice to feel it again. She had taken it out of its box that afternoon, shaken out the moth powder, given it a good brush, and rubbed the back into the dim little eyes. What has been happening to me? Said the sad little eyes. Oh, how sweet it was to see them snap at her again. From the red eiderdown, but the nose, which was of some black composition, wasn't all firm. It must have had a knock somehow. Never mind, a little dab of black sealing wax when the time came, when it was absolutely necessary. Little rogue. Yes, she felt like that about it. Little rogue, biting its tail just by her left ear. She could have taken it off and laid it on her lap and stroked it. She felt it tingling in her hands and arms, but that came from walking, and supposed, and when she breathed, something light and sad, no, not sad exactly, something gentle seemed to move in her bosom. There was a number of people out this afternoon, far more than last Sunday, and the band sounded louder and gayer. That was because the season had begun. For although the band had played all the year round on Sundays, out of season, it was never the same. It was like one playing with only the family to listen. It didn't care how it played if there were any strangers present. Wasn't the conductor wearing a new coat too? She was sure it was new. He scrapped with his foot and flapped his arms like a rooster about to crow. And the bandsmen, sitting in the green rotunda, blew out their cheeks and glared at the music. Now there came a little fluty bit, very pretty, a little chain of bright drops. She was sure it would be repeated. It was. She lifted her head and smiled. Only two people shared her special seat. A fine old man in a velvet coat, his hands clasped over a huge carved walking stick, and a big old woman sitting upright, with a roll of knitting on her embroidered apron. They did not speak. This was disappointing, for Miss Brill always looked forward to the conversation. She had become really quiet. She thought at listening as though she didn't listen, at sitting in other people's lives just for a minute while they talked round her. She glanced sideways at the old couple. Perhaps they would go soon. Last Sunday, too, hadn't been as interesting as usual. An Englishman and his wife, he wearing a dreadful Panama hat, and she button boots, and she'd gone on the whole time about how she ought to wear spectacles. She knew she needed them, but that was no good getting any. They'd be sure to break, and they'd never keep on. And he'd been so patient. He'd suggested everything. Gold rims, the kind that curved round your ears, little pads inside the bridge. No, nothing would please her. They'll always be sliding down my nose. Miss Brill had wanted to shake her. The old people sat on the bench, still as statues. Never mind. There was always the crowd to watch. To and fro, in front of the flower beds and the band rotunda, the couples and groups paraded, stopped to talk, to greet, to buy a handful of flowers from the old beggar, who had his tray fixed to the railings. Little children ran among them, swooping and laughing, little boys with white silk bows under their chins, little girls, little French dolls, dressed up in velvet and lace. And sometimes a tiny stagger came suddenly, rocking into the open from under the trees, stopped, stared, and suddenly sat down, flop, until its small, high-stepping mother, like a young hen, rushed scolding to its rescue. Other people sat on the benches and green chairs, but they were nearly always the same. Sunday after Sunday, and Miss Bell had often noticed there was something funny about nearly all of them. They were odd, silent, nearly all old. From the way they stared, they looked as though they'd just come from dark little rooms or even cupboards. Behind the rotunda, the slender trees with yellow leaves down drooping, and through them just a line of the sea, and beyond the blue sky with gold-veined clouds, tum tum tum, tiddle tum, turn tiddly tum-ta, blew the band. 2 young girls in red came by, and 2 young soldiers in blue met them, and they laughed and paired, went off arm in arm. 2 peasant women with funny straw hats passed, gravely, leading beautiful smoke-colored donkeys. A cold, pale nun. Oh God. Well, I'm not going to finish this story because my attention span is shorter today than it normally is. I'm actually not going to finish this story. Sorry if you wanted to hear the ending, but I'm not really feeling well today. All I think about is climate change, and I think about climate change all the time. How hot it's going to get, how it's the end of the world, and it scares me. Climate change really scares me. And you'll never hear the end of the story unless you look it up online yourself. But I'm just worried about climate change, and worried about a lot of things. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the story. Please subscribe to this channel to be part of the community. And please like this video. I just thought the story was kind of boring, and maybe I want to use a different, something else on this channel other than reading short stories. I don't know what I want to do on this channel. It's kind of up for debate what I want to focus on creating content here. I don't really know, but I just like making videos. I like putting myself out there into the world and letting everyone see me, and that's all. So let me know in the comments below. What did you think of the story? Please subscribe to this channel to be part of the community, and please like this video. It really helps the channel out a lot. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.